What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Emo. Mr. Royal tonight is on assignment. I am going to attempt to bring this show to you. I think tonight a voice is needed. This week a voice is needed. So let's try this. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Gia, it is about that time. I am Mr. Emo being accompanied by. Oh, yeah, he's off on assignment. This is Bippy and Bullshit, your weekly podcast where we cover everything from religion, relationships, politics, and as always, a little bit of bullshit. Tonight, Mr. Emo has to get right into it. Like I said during the introduction, Mr. Royal is away on assignment, handling his biz the only way the man of leisure can leisurely do. Good luck to it, and hopefully we'll have him back under center next week. Well, here we are, another episode of this here bippy and this here bullshit. I am dolo tonight, so I am not going to try to keep y'all for an hour because I think an hour of me just talking will get tedious, tiring, and just hot damn treacherous because we still going to do some shots. It is the end of September. Can you believe that it is over with? We are still chugging along in this here coronavirus, in the Corona Nation, in the year of our Lord Dorona. The NBA will now have a finals matchup between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Miami Heat. God, I don't know how I feel about this one. I mean, I like LeBron James. He's an Ohio boy. Rooting for him to win. Jimmy Butler, they said, had a bad attitude. He couldn't play with others, and he done went and took a bunch of nobodies. He took a dude named Bam and Hero to the finals in the bubble. I'll be tuning in because, quite frankly, there's nothing else to watch. College football is a mess. They have sent these kids back to play football way too soon, and everybody took ass whoopings this weekend. Oklahoma got popped, LSU got popped, and nobody, quite frankly, looked like they were in tune to play anything. But they are trying to put on for our entertainment the best show that they can. In other news, I wanted to get on here tonight celebrating an anniversary. 20 years on my gig. Yeah, that crazy. Have been in the same place for 20 years. For all you who started out there with me in my class, salute to you. Congratulations. 20 years is a milestone. To be anywhere, most marriages, relationships, lives don't last 20. So kudos and cheers to us. Like I said, I am not going to keep us long tonight. I am getting right into it. So, this is probably the quickest first shot of the night here on Bipping and Bullshit. But like I said, we ain't got no time to play tonight because it is enough going on. First shot of the night goes to. So the bullet that didn't hit nothing is the shot that we going to take. Cheers. If you've been living under a rock, you know that the decision was made to go forward with a trial or for a trial for the officers who killed Breonna Taylor. The police department came out a couple weeks ago and gave a large settlement to her family, the largest in Louisville's history by the police. And we all thought That was a good sign. That was a good starting point. So something is going to happen. Then something happened that weekend that kind of steered me away from that good furry feeling. The police chief started to cancel overtime. I mean, not overtime, but vacation and days off, and put people on 12-hour shifts. Like a thief in the night, they went to downtown Louisville near the courts, shut the city down, rerouted people, put up barriers at 1 and 3 in the morning. So when you went into work on Monday morning for your normal commute, you were derailed, you were detoured, you were pushed to other places, and you were told that you cannot come this way, you cannot park here where you usually park. If you live in the downtown area, we apologize for the inconvenience. Businesses started bordering up. Now, I ain't the smartest guy in the world, but once you start boarding things up, canceling vacations, putting people on 12-hour shifts, all hands on deck, for a verdict that you say you didn't know what was coming down the pipe, is a damn lie. The verdict came out that charges will not be filed against the two officers who shot and killed Breonna Taylor, but charges would be filed against the officer who shot blindly into the apartment building the apartment next to Miss Taylor's. Because by him firing blindly into a wall, his actions were more egregious and dangerous than the two officers who shot and killed Breonna Taylor. I was defeated. It was hard to go to work. It was hard to function. It was hard to get out of bed. It was hard to move. Because we just knew some hope. We had hope. We had this lady who was resting in her home was gunned down and murdered for nothing. And we just knew that wasn't going to be allowed. We just know, because this is kind of open and shut, right? She wasn't a crime boss. She wasn't a gangster. She was a hardworking woman who was shot in her own home. But this is when the story gets good. I read through the evidence. And she had been the subject of an investigation because her ex-boyfriend sold illegal narcotics. And her ex-boyfriend had a vehicle in her name. And also an account that labeled her address as his own. All right, I'm going to ask a question to my listeners out there. You ever dated somebody and thought shit was going to work? So you start putting shit in your name. They credit a little fucked up. You co-sign a car. You trying to help Bay get on Bay feet. Because Bay credit might be pretty toe down, toe up from the flow up, pretty jacked up. So you help Bay. You help Bay get the car. You help Bay get the bank accounts. You help Bay. And then things go left to center with Bay. you and Bay break up. Now Bay still gonna pay on the car. Break up Bay. Break up Bay ain't changing his account information because Break Up Bay knew that he was probably fucked up and dealing in narcotics or whatever he was dealing in. That he needed a solid address or somewhere to his mail to come to, because you can't have your Wells Fargo or your Chase Manhattan or your PNC or Fifth Third account information coming to the trap. That's just not acceptable. And after surveillance, they seen his car stop at her house and pick up a suspicious UPS package. They seen her at his place and they saw a hug, a conversation on the porch. And even through the course of the investigation, they didn't think that Miss Taylor was dealing in narcotics, but the ex-boyfriend was. Informants told the police that they had bought drugs from his residence, and because they bought drugs from his residence, they tied in her residence with the car and the account, and there was a place of interest that they were going to check, even though the investigation said that they don't believe that she was doing anything to the magnitude of the boyfriend. Her home was a place of interest. I can't understand why choosing the wrong person to be with is a death sentence. And when people say, because I've saw some pretty nasty comments that you've all made, well, if she wasn't affiliated with these people, this wouldn't have happened. What is done in the dark will come to the light. What the fuck did she do? It's sad that when someone is murdered unjust, we find ways to sully their name, to say the worst of what we can about them. And Miss Breonna's case is no different. We all have that relationship. We wish we could throw the fuck away. Like, and from what it sounds like, even in that, it's not a throwaway relationship. It's not a relationship anymore. We all have somebody that we dated or affiliated with or knew who is not on the right track or has done some bad things in their past. That is not a death sentence for you. And for people to fix their mouths to say, know the facts of the case. Okay, the facts are out. Show me anywhere in the case files or in the investigation or what they found in the house with suspected cash, because the ex-boyfriend got arrested and got into a fight with his now girlfriend on the phone and said that Miss Taylor was holding money for him during an argument, which the girlfriend later comes out and says, he said to piss me off because we were fighting. Right now, if I'm holding $1 million for Pablo Escobar, that is not a death sentence for me, nor should it be. But we are trying to a reason for an innocent woman to be murdered. And you wonder why we are always outraged, hurt. Man, I was hurt. Real hurt. Like, didn't want to eat, stomach in knots. And I don't know this woman from a can of paint, but this woman didn't deserve this. And even when you look at what they say, what does she deserve? Where was this her life sentence? Where was this the judge, jury, and executioner on the police's part to murder her for something she's innocent in? Guilty by association does not mean death. Because in my youth, I should have been dead a long time ago. Because we all got somebody in our family. And even though there are people who want to point the finger and say these negative things. What about your heroin addicted ass cousin or your meth infused ass mama? Because your mama go to a meth house and buy meth and do drugs, and she comes over to your house. Is that a death sentence? How about your insider trader homeboy who's giving you stock tips or giving other stock tips and they getting rich running Ponzi schemes and shit like that, but he comes over to your house and y'all got things and you got he got something in uh, possession in your name. Is that a death sentence for you? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how we can still try to paint the narrative where an innocent woman who was in her house and the police kicked in the door with a no knock, and it says a no knock. It says that it was asked for specifically to be a no knock for the element of surprise, and someone shot, and you were surprised because they're law abiding citizens. That's like if you come into my home and you kick in my door and you don't say anything and you're walking through my house and I see a shot, I'm going to take it because I have no reason for you to be kicking in my door. I have no reason for you to be in my house like I'm Tony Montana. But yet and still an innocent black life is lost. And just like with anything else, we bring out the negative. George Floyd was killed. Um, we brought up drug addiction. We brought up pornographic tapes. We brought up jail history. I have to ask the question, at the moment he was murdered, was he committing any of those acts? No, none. But he was murdered for a counterfeit bill. Listen to the reason that people are dying, and you wonder why the hopelessness is there. We die over selling Lucy's. We die over CDs, counterfeit 20s, sitting in our homes, jogging through neighborhoods you don't believe we should be in, playing in parks with guns that are toys that look all too real to you. And this is something that we have been up against our entire lives. This isn't a new pandemic for us. This isn't something that has just started. This is not something that has just happened. Um, During this, it's brought brought me to the interviews, speeches, lectures by James Baldwin, and a lot of what he had to say in the 1960s, why he came home from Paris, how he was sitting on the sidelines doing nothing in Paris, France, when the people that he knew, loved, admired, and cherished were dying in America. And he was tired of sitting on the bench and watching people fight the good fight while he was waving pom poms across the pond. And he couldn't do it anymore, so he came home to pick up his baton, his torch, and press on. And it's crazy that the things that he said some 50 years ago, we are still fighting those fights and we are still looking for those same equalities. Um, we're being put in a position that no matter what we do, no matter what is said, we're wrong. And these deaths are justified. They're justified. How do you justify a man being hunted down like a dog, running, chased, and shot? How do you find a man who allegedly had a counterfeit bill? How, how do we find it justifiable to kill him? And when the second body cam came out, I never forget how it was the if you look at this evidence now from the second body cam, you can see why the officers did what they did. That man did not assault, murder, rape, pillage anyone for his life to be ended. But it was. Well, he had drugs in the system. Okay. Well, if he hadn't had drugs in the system, he might have survived. Well, you may be right. But I'm going to wager my earnings on the fact that a foot or a knee was in his neck for damn near 9 minutes was the cause of him having a heart attack, going into cardiac arrest, and oh yeah, not breathing. But we want to bring up the fact that he was on drugs and he had a record. Okay. Again, was he doing any of those things at the time? No. And the same with Breonna Taylor. Someone said, well, she wasn't laying in the bed. She was standing behind her boyfriend when she was shot and killed. So it's not true that she was just laying in the bed asleep and she died. This is the shit that we come up with. These are the narratives that we are forced to listen to. I don't know about y'all, but the toughest chickens I know are strong black women. And here's why. Ladies, do not jump on me. Do not come for me because I am not sending for you. They are tough all day. They are strong in their workplace. They are take no shit, take no prisoners. I'm not fucking with you. For 9 to 5. They don't play with them kids. They don't play with this online schooling. Come for me if you must. I will put you where you belong. But the moment a spider comes, or a centipede, or a bee, or a bump in the night, if that man is at home, that woman is on his shoulder. What is that? Get it. Kill it. I'm out. Them people heard a bump in their house. And that woman probably would do what 95% of you would. Went to go find out what was going on with her dude. Does that soften the blow for people because she wasn't laying in the bed? Does that make more sense because she was standing behind her man out of fear because somebody was in her house? Does that make you feel good? And then this DA who's not prosecuting the case. I could sit here and spend a whole nother show on him. I could spend more time on a cat like him. But Shannon Sharp said something this week, and I'm going to leave it there. Just because they your skin folk, don't make them your kinfolk. Quit looking for people who look like you and empower, and you believe that they will be your savior. They on some Big Sean shit too. They don't fuck with you. They're in those positions because they don't want to be around you. You have to remember that. And this was another sad, blatant case of we thought because, he looked like us, he was going to put for us. Do your homework, just like they want to do their homework on Biden and Harris and crime bills and prosecuting blacks. Do your homework on these people that you're sitting here rooting for. Do your homework on these people that you think are going to be for the cause when they are part of its demise. Sad day, sad week. Because justice should be had. I don't understand how. I feel like the OJ case. I feel like when OJ was acquitted of murder, but he was found guilty in civil court in order to pay money. It's like, okay, y'all proved he did some fucked up shit. How couldn't they prove this in court? No offense, Juice. Don't come looking for me. I done seen some of your TikTok videos. You still crazy. But how does how does that work? The police department can come out and say we fucked up. Here's $12 million, which is still not enough for this young lady's beautiful life. And the city can say we're not filing charges because we've seen no wrongdoing. It's mind-boggling. It's truly mind-boggling, and it's hurtful because it puts you in a fear state. I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for me personally. It makes you afraid because even when you're doing right, even when you are on the straight and narrow, even when you are following the rules, following the laws, you still get the smoke. Yeah, the attorney general is a fraud, and we have to look at these people. We have to look at this case has been filed from the jump, and it's just another one of those ugly marks in America where you had the chance to do the right thing and you didn't. You took another life and looked at it like it don't matter. On to the next shot. Next shot of the night is local. Some local. Oh boy. If you are still with me, you are still here, raise your glass. Our last and final shot of the night goes to you talking loud and you ain't saying nothing. Cheers. I said I wasn't gonna do this, but yeah, what the hell. The other night, well, the other day, I got a thing on my Facebook that there was a Black Lives Matter rally on the corner of Dorn Secor. And it was like roughly 10 people just waving signs, chanting, say her name, say his name, no justice, no peace. But what I found baffling was the amount of comments that people made. The things that people were spewing out of their mouth. And normally I don't do this. I engaged. I jumped in. This lady said, all lives matter. And I said, okay, well, we talking about the black ones right now. And another lady comes from me, why? Look at all those people out there standing. Look at all those people who are together. Their lives don't matter. If you truly want to change in this country, you need to look in the mirror because you, sir, are a racist. Okay. Let her have her spiel. But I went back and I informed her. Throughout the history of these United States, no race has had to ask to matter. Not to be greater than, not to be better than, not to be superior, not to be looked at as gods, but to simply matter. matter. Those people, those beautiful people who are out on that corner protesting, they are tired of watching a people ask to matter. They are tired of watching their friends, their family, because they know because of their skin color, they may be okay. But their biracial little cousin, or hell, even some cases, sister, won't be. Because they are tired of the injustice that they see with their own two eyes being done to a people. That does not make me a racist. That makes me someone who is tired of asking to matter. Someone who is afraid because Breonna Taylor can't sit in her house without getting shot by the police, and the police don't get found anything. But the guy who shot the wall, who went into the apartment next to hers, is going to trial. And then I went through more comments, and ho, where are the looters? LOL. They don't come out to after dark. LOL. They must be busy sleeping. LOL. Just some of the racist comments that were made for someone to simply asking to matter. And then, it triggers people. It makes people upset that a race is asking to matter. Pisses them off. Read another post on Facebook. It's sad in this country, if you have an American flag outside of your house, people know who you're voting for. Shaking my head. And those posts got out of hand. Damn right, I'm going to fly my flag. When did black people become unpatriotic? When did black people say, fuck America? Because by right, we built this country. We just want what's ours. Man, I'm not talking 40 acres and a mule. We just want to live a life. We just want to raise our children, go to work, go to school. We want, when we are seen in the stores, we are not seen as savages. We are not seen as sex crazed, violent, ghetto, uneducated Neanderthals and monkeys that a lot of the people in these posts claimed us to be. The one guy who took a great liking to me, um, called me a thug, called me a criminal, called black people sloppy. You're all criminals. You kill each other. No one will ever take you serious because of the problems that you have as a people. That's why your lives don't matter. For someone to say things of that nature, it makes you look at how divided our country is. Last time I looked, black people weren't the only people killing each other. Last time that I looked, we weren't the only ones who murder our own race. Because I tell you what, you can watch Lock Up PD, and a lot of us go to jail. We do at alarming rates. They put a lot of us over. They put a lot of whites, Latinos over as well. But there's this channel called the ID channel. And the ID channel does The Killer Next to Me, um, Snapped, all of these shows about people who murder their loved ones. Not pointing no fingers, but a lot of them folks don't look like me. A lot of them folks don't look like old Mr. Emo. So that's telling me that black people are not the only ones committing crimes. So to call us all criminals and to categorize us is unfair. But this, in today's society, that is what's being done. If you are a Trump supporter, you're an automatic racist. No. That is furthest thing from the truth. If someone supports Trump, that doesn't make you a racist. But will I say that I believe that most racists in America who are racist are Trump supporters? Absolutely. Because you vote for someone, that doesn't make you a racist at all. But under the mantra of making America great again, what part of America are we making great? And no one wants to answer that question. Um, there are people who believed in Trump. People didn't like Obama because they thought because Obama was a black president, he did nothing for the working middle and lower class whites in this country. And they wanted to change. Respect it. Or you're just a Republican and you just gonna go with whoever you go with. Respect it. That doesn't make you a racist. But because I simply want my race to matter, because I want my son to matter, I want my son to live in a time where he drives down the street and he's not getting pulled over because of his dreads. I want my daughter to be looked at like you're not a slut or a whore, or you're just here to serve my pleasures because that's what the rap songs or movies tell us, that you guys are nothing but ghetto princesses with big booties who down to do whatever. I don't want you to bathe in a stereotype and look at us as a people by what you listen to in music, what you see on TV as us. Because while yes, our rap music is getting terrible, the lyrics are just drug infused and trash. But I'm pretty sure my parents said the same thing about NWA and Ice Cube. Don't judge me off of Menace to Society, and I won't judge you off of Riverdale or Beverly Hills 90210 or Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That's not a reality. That's made up. That's not, when I view people, that's not what I base my assumptions on. But to listen last night to some of these people talk about how you're criminals because you're black, you are the worst because you're black, you can't stop killing your own, and that's why we don't take you serious. Everyone commits crime. Everyone. That was one of the worst things that I heard. But then I got to looking at other people's. Somebody said Black Lives Matter, and someone posted, "Why should they?" It's sad times that we're living in, and it's getting worse. These people are on this post making a mockery of people just saying they want to matter. Speaking of Black Lives Matter, had somebody get arrested this week in the city. We've talked about him on this show, me and Mr. Royal. We talked about Sir Major and how he was viewed in the city. Was he doing good? Was he doing bad? Was he trying to uplift the people? $200,000 though. Whew, that's a lot of money. And I was talking to somebody today, and they said that he took the money for his home and moved it from his Black Lives Matter account straight to his bank account and bought a home. If you're going to be that loud, if you are going to be that fierce, if you are going to be that fiery, that agitator, please make sure your ducks is in a row. Cause man, and so many people hit me up about that. Like, did you see that dude got arrested? You see dude got arrested? You see dude got arrested? Yeah, I did. That's tough, but don't take these people money for nonprofit and say you're going to do something to help the people and you helped yourself. And I mean, I guess you are considered the people, so you gave yourself a hand. But nah, B, people can't be donating to your cause and you buying houses and big screen TVs and going in girls' inboxes trying to take them to Atlanta. 22 of them to be exact, but I ain't keeping no count. I mean, you can't do that. You can't do that and think they're not gonna come for you. Like I said, we have to be careful of who we put our faith into and who we lift up in this struggle and lift up in this fight because everybody not for us. Hmm. Good luck to him. Wish you the best, bud. Life is hard. I hope this makes you see a different light. And I mean, from my understanding, you're a charismatic dude. People listen to you. Your mom was about social activism and uplifting. Hopefully, this will be enough to make you change and get your shit together and do what's right for a people and not a person. Funny though, still is. I'm sorry. Dude got arrested, and this is the thing. So many people was waiting for this, and so many people were excited about it. And while yes, it's one of those things, man. You still don't want to see nobody get caught up, but you did people dirty. I hear stories of calling people's jobs, getting them fired, putting out their dirty laundry. That ain't how you lead. But it is what it is what it is. Couldn't afford not to record tonight. Had to get on here. Like I said, this Breonna Taylor outcome really hurt my soul. It really. I mean, I've been a part of so many other, as we all have, swept under the rug situations, but this one hurt. And I think what hurt the worst is the attempt to sully her reputation, the attempt to sully who she was. Couldn't shake this one off, and I couldn't go the night without professing my angst, my anger, and me just being downright pissed. How do you not prosecute? How do you come up with her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend is a drug dealer? Come on, man. That's like them kicking in my door tonight, shooting me dead. Well, back in 1993, Emo was at Geno's and he bought a pizza with a notorious drug dealer. They sat, ate the pizza on the car. 3 days later, Emo was seen playing basketball with the same drug dealer and laughing. The drug dealer came and picked up a pair of shoes from Emo that were suspicious. Nobody makes red, white, red, black, and green Air Force Ones. Has to be something illegal going on. We're going to target him as a part of this investigation. Even though we don't think he has something to do with it, we're going to serve a no-knock warrant on his house. And then they come in my house and I get the busing because somebody is in my house who don't belong there. They've kicked in my door, waving the 4-4. And if I know these guys, they will wave me automatic weapons, M4s, AR-15s. And he shot. I want one person in America to tell me they want to do the same thing. I want one of you CCW owners to tell me that if someone comes in your home and your firearm is near and the door is burst open and you don't hear, police, we have a warrant. If you don't see a badge, if you don't see paperwork, that you're not going to shoot. And you're a law-abiding citizen. Tell me you wouldn't do the same thing. And that's why this hurts so much. Because this is a case where they were trying to do everything right. Not going to call this woman a saint. Not going to call this woman an angel. Not going to do that because, yeah, I am. She was a good girl. In your neighborhood, you might have called her a good shit. She cool as fuck. She hardworking as fuck. She used to date dude. That's not a reason for this woman to die, man. It's not a reason for her to lose her life. And even worse, it's not a reason for you to come out and say, look at the evidence she shouldn't have been associated with. So for all of y'all who feel that way, next time you're talking to your methamphetamine addicted ass relative, your coked up relative, your homeboy that you know you shouldn't be fucking with, think if they worth your life. Because apparently out here in these streets and in these times, if you associate the words with the wrong person, the sentence is death. Well, I have nothing else, man. Like I said, I couldn't afford not to record. I couldn't afford not to get this off my chest because it's been weighing in me. And the great thing about this here Bippy and this here bullshit, it was a platform to get social injustices. Like I said, me and Royal have good times. We laugh. But it's so sad that the world has been giving us the energy to have to speak on these injustices. And I would feel like a dog if I didn't get on this mic and talk about one of the greatest social injustices that we've seen. I think the only thing that can make this worse is if they go in and let Dylan Roof drop all charges and let him out scot-free. That would come close. But, it's 2020, the year of our Lord Rona. Anything can happen. Shit, Japan just built a 7-story Gundam robot that can move. So anything can happen, man. Like it's amazing where the world is going and the things that we are dealing with. Well, as always, I am Mr. EMOE, Stephen Royal, man of leisure. Hope to have him next week. Man, this has been Bippy and Bullshit. Couldn't afford not to record. Felt good to get this off my chest. Y'all have a good evening. All right. Same bat time. Well, same bat channel. We never know about the same bat time. But we'll get up. Peace. For all of you out there who have watched, liked, shared, thank you. Keep liking, keep sharing. Tonight was just different. My partner got tied up. But the way I've been feeling today, I've been waiting to do this all day. I've been waiting to do this all week. After the non-verdict came down, I've been waiting to do this. I've been waiting to get behind this mic and just talk about how much we matter and how much more work is needed to be done for us to be able to just show up to the table. It hurt. It heard that this woman who was working two jobs will not seek, she will not get justice. Her family got a couple of scraps. And this is the thing I say about that. If the if the city can pay you 12 million, what they really got? What they own? If they can give you this kind of money, what they got in the surplus? And this woman's life ain't worth 12 million. Her life is worth justice for an injustice that was served. And then the conversations and the triggeredness of people who don't want our lives to matter, it hurts because nobody wants white people to go away. Nobody wants brown people, any nationality to go away. I'm not pointing out your faults. I'm not pointing out what makes you different. When I tell you I saw somebody say, um, you people kill yourselves. Your lives truly don't matter. And I had to think about it like, damn, you're right. We do commit crimes against each other. We the only race. We the only ones who do that, huh? So you can look at these glorified shootings that they love to put in the paper. You can look at these stories of homicides, 44 to be exact, in the city of Toledo, and say we kill each other. It always brings me back to a dry cleaner I go to here. There was a sweet young lady who used to work in there. She's a little white girl. Every time I would come in, she was just so nice. She had the sunniest disposition. She was just a sweet girl. Hello, Mr. Moy. How are you? Every time I saw her, she got married. I remember congratulating her, getting married. She was murdered by her husband. Killed her. Left her on the porch. He went back to Canada, where he was from, and they lost him. They don't know where he is. And that was like maybe 10 years ago. I say that to say we all do heinous things. But because you think one race does more than the other, they don't matter. That's a tough pill to swallow. To coexist, for you to live on your side of the bubble, to come to your own ideologies, to come to your own sense of being without strife or complication is the same thing we want, same thing we fighting for. Not looking to tear this motherfucker up, blow it up. No, there's been enough violence in the commandeering, building, structuring, and continuous running of this nation of ours that needs to stop. We're not looking for that. Just a matter. And I couldn't sit here another day, moment, without using this platform to just talk about the disappointment and the heartache that this week has brought. But like I said, next week is a new week. Hopefully, my co host will be here. He will not be on assignment. and we can give y'all this double dose of this Biddy and this bullshit. Continue to go vote for us. Um, Best of Toledo, Toledo City Paper, Bippy and bullshit. Get us in there. Get us at the table. Because guaranteed, if we go to the awards banquet, Royal is showing up in a robe, and I'm showing up with the WWE Championship belt around my waist. Royal had a great idea one night. We were sitting here talking, and he said, let's get all the podcasts in Toledo together and just give us a topic, and let's just go in and see who do what. Man, I love that idea. Hands down, we can't be beat. We like back in the 90s or the 80s when Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior teamed up. But that is my time. Get y'all some rest. It's late. Y'all got to go to work in the morning. I got to go to work in the morning, noonish time. But thank y'all for rocking with me tonight. Thank y'all for continuing support. And we'll catch y'all next week. All right? Peace.